Good morning, everybody, or because I'm coming from New Jersey, it's really good afternoon, but my name is Jennifer Schwester. I'm thrilled to be presenting for the Pacific Northwest Council for Languages. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I have never been to any of the 6 states that are part of your organization. It is on my to-do list, so when we can finally really travel again, definitely going to head out that way, and hopefully maybe I'll be able to present live to you. Hint, hint. I just want to travel. I miss it. I'm sure we all miss it. But again, thank goodness for technology, and I'm able to come and see a new part of our country and reach a new audience. So I'm just grateful to be here with you today. As I said, my name is Jennifer Schwester. It is my 22nd year teaching French. I am currently back at the high school level. It's my 8th year back. It was I was in middle school for a long time, and my own children became middle schoolers, and it was just too much. But so anyway, so I came back, went back to high school. I've also been practicing yoga for the past 7 years. I received my first level of instructor certificate, the 200 level 3 years ago. I've been teaching and presenting workshops since then. I have branched out. Not only do I get to share my mindfulness and meditation and yoga with my French classes and in that target language, but I also do a lot of work with the first responder community, with yoga for first responders, so police, fire, dispatchers, EMS. Recently, I've become certified to also work in the veterans community. And I've been just reaching out to those groups that desperately need yoga and might not have access to it. Also to senior citizen communities by us, special needs teens and young adults. And also I do teach wheelchair yoga. So I've been able to find a way to mesh my two loves into one thing, and also to present and share with other teachers. So as I've said, I'm just so grateful to be here today and to share with you. And I'm just happy to take a little twist on our work aspects and to talk about the care and the feeding of the teachers, because we all have many to-do lists, lots of things to do. What are we doing for school? What are we doing for our homes? But what are we doing for ourselves? And I'm in this position too. Some days I'm good at this, some days my self-care is not so good, but then everything else starts to suffer. So I realized we need to talk about this. And I'm very grateful to your language organization for realizing that teachers need to talk about this. And yes, we want our children and our students in target languages, and we want to be able to advocate for our languages, but gosh darn it, there is a lot on our plates right now. So we need to take care of ourselves. So again, very grateful for being able to talk about this, and hopefully maybe you'll either get some new ideas or realize I haven't been doing the ideas that I knew worked for me in the past, and to take a few moments for yourself and to realize it doesn't have to be a long period of time to put your focus on yourself. Some of our self-care might be really good stuff, and some of our self-care may not be. Or yeah, it seems good at the time, but as we continue, maybe it's not always having the best benefits. I'm not judging, because everything that I have shown here is me. Okay, these are my self-care, what works for me. And sometimes I go to one more than I should. And so it's just about reflecting upon that and just acknowledging it. No judgment. So with whom do you identify? We want our students to be able to identify their emotions. And I think in this time, with everything we've been asked to take on over this past year, I'm sure we have all transformed our teaching in one way or the other. And maybe you feel all of these emotions. Maybe you feel them all at the same time. But sometimes we're so caught up in everything that we're doing that we forget to stop and think and focus on what we're doing. And I've heard this from all teachers. I hear teachers who are crying every day. Teachers, this was me. I was so anxious. I really didn't sleep much from like last April to about September, because I was so anxious about how was this all going to work. Now I'm like, yeah, I got this. Some days I'm just plain old angry. just angry, just the crap I got to deal with. And if they send me one more email about something I have to do to make an administrator, yeah, so sorry, but yeah, I'm done. And then some days I just don't care anymore. And it's on those days when these 2 days, I really need that self care to get me out of that funk and to move on. And as I said, we've been taking on so much. There's my nightmares right there, the toilet paper situation. We're always on these computers. We have to wear a mask. How the heck do we teach a language and we're wearing a mask all the time? And I learned that the other day. Um, we're hybrid. So in the mornings, I go into my school building and I have some students physically in the building. I have some students home virtually. And then in the afternoon, I go home and I teach virtually to everybody in the afternoon. And I had a couple minutes left with my French ones, and I don't like to let them get out of class early because then they think that happens all the time. So I was like, oh, let's just do the alphabet super quick. And I'm like, E, G. And I'm like, you have to smile. And they're like, are you smiling? And then I'm looking, I'm like, oh, nah, E, G. And then I put it up real quick. We're just, it's there. And we forget that you can't see behind it. But we're mentally and physically exhausted. We juggle so many things, and that we can't pour from an empty cup. And I know I feel empty a lot. I'm at my wits end. I'm done. I don't think I'm the only one who feels this way, and we have to put ourselves first. We need to hit our reset button. So in today, we're going to do some exercises where we can take a few moments, and that's the main thing. These activities, the breathing, the movement, it's only a few moments for yourself, but it's for yourself. And take them and don't feel guilty about it. Okay? And if you want to do them for longer, you do them for longer. But we can become aware of our bodies. Where are we sitting or standing? If we're sitting, are we touching our chair? Slow down, notice your heartbeat. Do you feel it beating anywhere else in your body? And become aware of your breath. Where is your breath originating from? Is it in your mouth or is it in your nose? And if your breathing is coming from your mouth, can you shift it up to inhales and exhales through your nose? Because, very brief, when we breathe in through our mouth, it's going to trigger this primal setting of ours that something is wrong. It heightens our anxiety, that there's a problem. It alerts our fight or flight response. So if we start, we're triggered for that. When we switch our breathing to inhales and exhales through our nose, you're going to massage the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body. It starts at the back of your head where the neck meets the back of your head. It touches at your spine. It touches through your abdomen, your stomach. And when we massage that by inhaling and exhaling through our nose, that massages the vagus nerve. That stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to take us down from that flight or fight response and help us to settle. So, the nose is the way to go, even when you're a little stuffy. So, let's take a moment. We're just going to practice that belly breath in and out of our nose. So, you can have a hand on your belly if you'd like. And we're sitting up as straight as you can, feet on the floor. And on your inhale through your nose, maybe you feel your belly pushing out. And on your exhale, belly button's coming in, exhale's coming out of your nose. Let's do a few cycles. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And maybe you can notice it without your hands. Inhale and exhale. And even just doing that a few moments, especially, the old saying, engage brain before opening mouth. Doing that deep breath, taking a breath before you speak or you react, gives yourself that time to settle in. And there's so many different ways we can take care of ourselves every day. Some of these probably resonate with you. Some of these are probably on your list. Drink water first thing in the morning. Dehydration leads to headaches. Make a menu for the week. That is, if somebody told me before I became an adult that I had to think every night, what am I making for dinner? I would have said, forget it, not doing this. So, make a menu, make a healthy menu. What's your treat day? Is there a day you're going to order out, or you're going to bring something in, or go out if you're able to? And, plan for that. And then you have something to look forward to also. Have many dance parties. One of my colleagues, I put that in because one of my colleagues does that. That's her self-care. She gets up and dances with her 8-year-olds, and they get the groove on. Take 5 minutes to decompress every day. Put the phone aside. Sit in your car for 5 minutes before you leave your car to go into work, or you leave your car to go back into your house. 5 minutes for you without someone saying, I need, I want, and what's for dinner. Make sure you're moving, even if you just have to get up and take some laps around. A lot of teachers in my school, we even do that. Like, we'll take a lap around one of the floors just to get moving and get some steps in and get some sleep. When you're tired and you're trying to get stuff done, it's not going to work out well. Start the day with something pleasant, quiet time before everyone else is awake. I personally do this. I get up 15 minutes earlier so I can sit downstairs in the peace and quiet and drink my tea. It's lovely. It's the best thing. It's usually pitch black out still, but that's okay. Plants are great. It gives you a focus. If you're a plant person, it helps clear the area in your living area or your work area. Mindful eating, not just sitting in front of a device and eating. I'm so guilty of that. Okay. As I said, there is no judgment about this. I am the type, when my school day ends, I find myself on the couch eating Cheetos. Sometimes I get organic ones. Yeah, that's not helping the situation. Volunteering. You get endorphins from helping people. Sit up straight, get that blood flow. When we're slouched, it's not good. It's compressing our nerves. Sit up straight. Detox from technology, especially before going to bed. Say no. It's okay. Okay. I said no to my administrators last week. It didn't go over well, but I'm sticking to my guns on that. Okay. They were asking me to do a yoga class for my coworkers. And I said, I'm so sorry. I have not taken a yoga class for myself in so long that I have to say no, that I cannot give any more yoga to somebody else until I get some yoga back in me. It didn't go over well. 2021 is all about Jen, taking care of me, and spend time with your pets. They help it a lot. They help a lot if you have pets. So let's take a few moments. We're going to try out some breaths. These are breaths you can do anywhere. You could do it at work. You could do it at home. You could do it before going to bed, getting up in the morning. Sometimes I do them in the car, at stoplights. So a counting breath, and again, remember our breaths for the most part in and out of our nose, unless I tell you otherwise. So a counting breath, you're just going to notice how long it takes for you to inhale and how long it takes for you to exhale. So you might inhale for 3 and exhale for 3. They might be odd, and maybe trying to match them. Maybe you can inhale for 3 and exhale for 3. Matching that. And then maybe trying to extend your exhale for an extra count. So if I'm inhaling for 3, try to exhale for 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. So inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Doing that for a few rounds. Bee breath is fun. Bee breath is nice also if you're congested. You just can gently cup your ears or just push that little flap of skin over. And inhale through your nose and hum or buzz. And that's it. It's blocking everything else that's going on around you, helping you to bring that focus in. Alternate nostril breathing, you can be really fancy. 2 fingers right in your third eye center. Use your thumb and your ring finger, or you can just use your pointer finger. I lost my train of thought there. So sorry. So we're going to close off the right one, not like so you can't breathe, but we're imagining that we're just breathing through one nostril. So we're going to inhale through our left, close, exhale through our right. Inhale through our right, close, exhale through our left. Let's do that. That's one round. So let's do that again. Inhale, close, exhale, inhale, close, exhale. Excuse me. But always good to have some tissues around for alternate nostril breathing. And you want to try to do 9 rounds of that. A box breath is also a breath that law enforcement officers, military use to help settle themselves and ground themselves. So it's like a 4-part. It's almost if you think of a square, and you can do it for whatever count you want. So perhaps you inhale for 1, hold your breath for 1, exhale for 1, hold your breath for 1. So you'll inhale, hold, exhale, hold. And then you could do 2 for each side. Inhale 2, hold 2, exhale 2, hold 2, and work your way up to where you're going 4 count inhale, 4 count hold, 4 count exhale, 4 count hold. Let's try that. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. And you could do a few rounds of that. Our 3-part breath is going back into our belly breath, starting to inhale through our nose, feeling that belly push out again, and exhale, belly button comes to the spine. Inhale and exhale. And then moving your hands up to like the sides of your lower ribs. So you inhale, that belly's going to push out, and you might feel your ribs open a little bit. And then on your exhale, you might feel your ribs come together. So your diaphragm is compressing and your belly button comes in. So inhale, belly, ribs, that diaphragm's expanding. And exhale, belly in. And then the 3rd part, right over your heart, is your chest. Inhale, belly, ribs open, chest might lift a little bit. And on that exhale, hand lowers, ribs together, belly button to the spine. Inhale, belly, ribs, and chest. And exhale, chest, ribs, belly. One more round. Belly, ribs, and chest. And exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. So in the presentation, you can see there's all of those explanations that go along with it, but I talked you through it, but they're there. I personally love to use an app to help with guided meditation. They're free. Everything that's listed up here has a free one. I prefer Calm. That's the app that spoke to me. You might find one that speaks to you. Try them all out. They all offer free ones. You don't even have to upgrade unless you really want to. But see what works for you. See what voice you like to hear, what they're talking about. Is it themed? Is it just a gong? So you want to try them out and see what do you like if you need that resting and you want someone to help guide you through some breath work. So now we're going to do a body scan. And body scans, again, you could do anywhere. You could be sitting, you could be laying down, you could be at the stoplight. You do not have to close your eyes. But if you're in a safe spot and you feel comfortable doing that, do that. So just notice where you are. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. If not, just look at the wall, look at a spot on the floor. Rest your hands comfortably on your lap or on the table. And notice your breath come in and out of your nose. What sensations are you feeling that air come in and out? Notice where your body's seated. Where do your feet make contact? Your legs, your back. Are you leaning back or are you sitting straight up? What are your shoulders doing? Are your shoulders really tense or are they down low? Continue with those deep inhales and exhales. It's at your own pace. Wiggle your jaw. Take a silent or a noisy yawn, helping to relax all those facial muscles, and come back to that breath. And notice your feet again, your legs, your back, and your shoulders. Maybe how your arms are feeling, your neck, your hands. Take one more deep inhale. And now exhale that out of your mouth. Another great app, or not great app, but a great website that I like to use for myself. And I also use it in my classes. But again, everything that's we're talking about is all for you. If you want to share it with your classes, that's on you, but you don't have to. Is Action for Happiness. Great website. They put out a calendar every month. It's themed Friendly February. So it's not just love, but friendship. And the really nice thing is that it's translated into so many different languages. And if there's a language there that it constantly changes, if there's one that you would like it to see translated into and you don't see it there, reach out to them. I'm sure that they would be happy to work with you. Oop, how did I do that? And have that happen. There we go. Sorry about that. So the French one, I use this with my students. We can talk about numbers, lower levels, what do we recognize, upper levels, what speaks to us. And if there's an activity for that day that doesn't speak to you, but you need something to focus on, just pick something. Pick one that works for you. And you can get it on your phone, everything. How to be mindful anywhere. So being mindful is basically, in a nutshell, being aware of where you are and what you're doing. Okay, so again, thinking before we're reacting, noticing what's around us instead of just walking with our on our phone, looking at everything. So I have a couple quick ways we're going to practice. There's a quick check-in, and just noticing. Again, it's almost a little body scan. Where am I? All right, I'm sitting in my dining room / office / yoga studio. Where do I feel any body parts touching? My feet are on the floor, my legs are on the chair. And can I quiet down and feel my inhale and exhale through my nose again? And just doing that for a few rounds. The finger touch with the affirmation is just touching the pads of your thumb to each of your fingers. It could be a really hard press, stressing, or just light feathery touches. Fast, slow, being mindful about it. And you can put a little affirmation, a little saying with it if that's something you want to do. You don't have to. I am here now. Je suis ici maintenant. I did this with a group of students. I was doing online yoga over the summer. They were 3rd to 5th graders, and this was one of our mindful activities that we did before we did yoga. And then when we came back the next week, I said, did anybody try our finger touch? And one of the boys raised his hand and he's like, yeah, I did. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I said, did you do the saying or no? He goes, I did, but I didn't like it, so I changed it. I said, that's awesome. I'm so happy you changed it and you made it work for you. And I said, would you like to share what that is? And he said, I love my mom. So sweet, so sweet. And, that's what made him feel better. That's what helped him come back into himself instead of being all out here. So kudos to such a young kid for making that work for him. I was really impressed. Sometimes I do that when I'm in line at the grocery store and I'm like, okay, I'm 6 feet away. I can't put anything on the belt. I'm wasting time. And I'm going to pay attention to my breath and I do my finger touch. And that's what helps calm me down. So I'm not like, it's not the cashier's fault. It's not the person in front of me. It's not their fault. It's not anybody's fault. It is what it is. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you name 5 things that you see around you? I see my computer. I see my halo light behind it. I see pictures on my wall. I see my kitchen lights on. and I see my desk, which luckily none of you see. It's very messy. It's okay. 4 things that you can hear. I can hear my computer. I hear cars outside. I don't really hear anything else. It's okay. If you don't get all the number, it's fine too. 3 things you can touch. I could touch my head. I could touch my table. I could touch my phone. I put my phone back down. I'm disconnecting a little bit. 2 things you can smell. I cooked dinner before. Yes, I had to think about dinner. I can smell that. And I can smell the squash and I can smell the spinach and I can smell the garlic. Excuse me. And I can still taste the garlic that I had with my dinner. So just acknowledging what's going on at the moment. Some other self care ideas. Some of these might speak to you, some of these might be your self care, and some of these might be like, oh, I really should do that or think about it at least. Read more books than tweets. Yay. Limit your consumption of bad news. When I found this one, it was last October, November. So speaks to the times. Listen to what your body needs. There are some days when your body needs the bag of Cheetos on the couch. And there are some days when perhaps maybe you should eat something else. So try not to buy another bag of Cheetos to be on the couch with that. But listening, and then if you do it, you do it. Like there's no like it's not you were bad, you fell off the wagon, none of that. It's what you felt that you needed at that moment. Awesome. Wear something that's makes you happy and cozy. Plan something to look forward to. Especially when I talk back about planning your menu. Plan maybe that is your treat. Oh, I don't have to cook dinner for a night. We're gonna get pizza. Or I'm from New Jersey. Your takeout food, your go-to takeout food is either pizza or surf taco. Surf taco is just like a coastal surf taco place. They make fish tacos, all of that. It was not a chain. It's technically a franchise now, but it's a local eatery. So, and we surf around here. So yeah, surf taco. So that's our Jersey side. Um, but let's take a few pause moments and let's just do some chair yoga. So perhaps you have a yoga practice, perhaps you don't, but chair yoga um, is really great. It can be done anywhere. And if you're not comfortable getting on the floor, if you have some impairment of movement, you're more supported in your chair. You don't have to um, worry about getting up and down and moving. So, shoulder shrugs, big inhale through your nose, shrug those shoulders up, and exhale, bring them down. Do that again. Big inhale and exhale. And one more time, inhale and exhale. And then our cat and cow. So if you have a yoga practice, you perhaps have done this, we're on our hands and knees, but we can do it sitting. So your feet are on the floor, hands are on your legs, and on your inhale through your nose, you're hinging forward, face and chest come forward. And then on your exhale, rounding that back, shoulders forward, chin to your chest. Inhale, coming forward for your cow. Exhale, curving that back for your cat. One more time. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, coming back, especially when we've been sitting for a long time. Our camel, you're going to sit at the edge of your seat. Feet are firmly planted on the floor. And you're going to rest on the back of your chair. Try to keep those arms straight or with a tiny little bend. And we're not arching our back. We're not bending our back. Sorry about that. But we're just lifting our chin to the ceiling. Feeling our shoulders pull back a little bit, but we're not rounding our back. And breathing here. And then releasing that. So for our crescent moon, we're going to inhale both arms up. Our feet are on that floor again. And we're just going to hinge to one side. We're not trying to come over. We're almost like we have like a big beach ball or any kind of ball, a globe in between our hands. And inhale back up to the center and over to the other side. And then inhale back up to center, taking a twist to one side. Big inhale back up, and a twist to the other side. Big inhale back up, facing center. Lower one hand with that exhale. Big inhale again, raising that one hand to the ceiling and hinging over for your side bend. Big inhale up, both hands up. Exhale, one hand down. Inhale again and hinge to that other side. And inhale back up to center, release that arm. So, our child's pose in yoga is a pose on our knees where we can rest, we can get ourselves back, and we have our final resting pose flat on our back. So, in a chair, what we can do instead is just leaning forward. Oh, you get to see my messy house. And knees are knees are on your elbows. Elbows are on your knees. Hands, fingers are intertwined, and just resting your forehead on that. If you feel your shoulders coming up into it, just relax those down and come back into that breath in and out of your nose. You might feel your belly moving. Inhale, it's pushing out, and exhale, it's coming in, so you're sinking down a little bit. And just taking those few minutes, moving the body, getting the blood circulation circulated, getting yourself some movement into yourself just for a couple minutes, especially if we've been sitting for a long time. Definitely good. There's so many podcasts and videos out there to help you. UCLA has a whole research center with a free collection, um, podcasts. YouTube has great videos. Some people like that visual to help sync their breath, of giving you items to focus on. Japanese hand massage to relieve stress and help with focus, because we're on our computers now a lot more than we used to. So we might need that. And so now I like to treat you and do a little guided meditation. So I'll talk you through it. You can be sitting in your chair. Feel free to lay down on your couch or floor if you'd like to. And again, if you're sitting, you can lean back, feel your shoulders come down, feet are on the floor, eyes can be opened or closed. And settle into where you are and bring that attention back to your breath. That inhale and exhale out of your nose. So feel the calmness in your toes and your ankles and your feet. Notice the peace in your shins and your calves. Observe the ease in your thighs. Sense the calmness in your hips and your lower back. Feel peace in your abdomen, upper chest, and upper back. Experience ease in your shoulders. It's coming down your arms, past your upper arms to your elbows, forearms to wrists, hands, and fingers. Notice the calmness in the front and back of your neck, the sides of your head, and your ears. Observe the ease in your face, your forehead, the back and top of your head, and sense peace in your entire body. Take a few more inhales and exhales. If you'd like to stay here for the rest of the workshop, feel free. If not, take a deep inhale through your nose, exhale it out of your mouth, and slowly come on back up to a sitting position if you need to. So, as you've heard, I don't always make the best choices in eating. Cookies and Cheetos are my downfalls. Not a downfall. That's my self-care sometimes, but there are, because of the processing of those types of foods, while I might feel good in that immediate moment, I don't feel good later on. So there are a lot of better choices to keep your mood boosted in healthy ways. Perhaps there's something in this picture that speaks to you. Perhaps there's something that, oh, maybe I would try that. Um, I I have food allergies to fish and seafood and everything. So unfortunately, some of my favorite food that's up there, I cannot eat anymore. But these are important things to try to include in our diet. Will keep us on a good track. Um, so it's again, like I said, I'm not judging because you know what I eat, but I do like a lot of the things that are here too. So there's links, and if you have the day and you don't eat well for one day, well, the next day it's a brand new day. Try it again. That's all we can do. Every day is a brand new day. Every day we have a new chance to take care of ourselves. If you, I mean, we're teachers. Who does not like a good to do list or a checklist? Yeah, cheat sheets. Um, but when you're scheduling your day, when you're planning out your day, schedule those times in it for you. Do you have 5 minutes somewhere? Do you drop a child or a parent off at something that you don't have to go into that area with them, or they're in their activity and you're in the waiting room? Well, do some deep breathing, read a magazine, hold the magazine up and do your deep breathing behind it so people think you're reading and maybe they won't talk to you. Stay in your car and do that. Take those 5 minutes before you go from your car to your house or your car into work. But schedule that in your day. And again, this gives you something to look forward to. During my day, I think about, okay, what's the weather and can I get outside to take a walk? In the past 2 weeks, there has not been any walking. I've been miserable. New Jersey tends to get snow in February and March. So we're doing that right now. And so it was so cold. There was no walking happening. And so yesterday and today were finally, 40-degree days and snow has melted. So I was able to take the dog out. There was sunshine. Life was good. Like, I can feel myself thriving again. My little sun lamp, doesn't always cut it for me on the side of my desk. But getting outside, sometimes we just need a nap. We had a snow. Well, we technically don't have snow days anymore because we went all virtual. But I still took a nap when I was done teaching. I'm like, oh, it's still gray out. It's nap time. Schedule that in. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself in that schedule. You're taking that time for yourself. Sometimes you just need some suggestions, and just Google self-care. You are going to find so many different things. Some people love to put the fresh sheets on my bed. That's what my husband does. He likes to make the bed. I don't like to make the bed. You can always tell who was the last person up in the morning. But that's his self-care. He's like, oh, I changed the sheets today. Oh, good for you. Thank you, darling. Are you going to think about what to make for dinner too? So anyway, mindfulness and self-care, these are ongoing processes. You can maybe one day you're checking off those boxes, my to-do list, awesome, awesome, awesome. The next day you're like, ugh, where's the Cheetos and the chocolate chip cookies? Okay. Or whatever it is that you need for that self-care. The breathing activities, the mindfulness, some days your mind will settle down very quickly. Some days it might not. It's okay. You try it again the next day. It does take practice to get used to the breath work and the body scans and meditating. Be patient and keep trying. Like I said with the apps, if you're using an app to help guide this, if it's not working for you, try something else. Try a different app. It could be the voice, it could be the tempo. It might not speak to you. And if strategy doesn't work for you, try a variation or a different technique. And if you cannot find something that works for you, reach out to your friends, your colleagues, family members. What do you do for self-care? And you might get some interesting ideas. You might get some silly ideas. You might start a dance party at your house because that's what's making you feel good. It's getting those endorphins moving. So we need to reach out and help each other during these times. I'm so grateful. I mean, it's sad that I'm not able to travel right now, but I'm so grateful to this new virtual connection because I am able to expand myself. While I would rather travel and be there live, this is the second best, but maybe in the future I can be live again and come out to see you. But again, I was supposed to be in Chicago and New York in March and April, and those conferences are now virtual, along with Maryland's conference. So I will be presenting at all those. And then this summer, I will be down in Atlanta. As of now, it is still a live conference. It has not changed yet. And I'm also hoping to be at AATF in New Orleans, waiting to hear all about that. But the teachers of Spanish and Portuguese were so kind to invite the French teacher to come speak to them about social emotional learning and teacher self-care and everything. And I'm really grateful to be reaching out to some different groups. So again, thank you to the Pacific Northwest Council for Languages and all of you for being here today and for allowing me to share with you today. It's been a real pleasure, and I hope to see you in person in the future. Thank you so much. Take care.